Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Polkaros podcast where I speak with fellow creatives, artists, craftspeople and designers. In today's episode, I will be speaking with Genevieve and Isabella in their studio. Both having a background in architecture, Genevieve is an artist and designer who researches into our relationship with materials, with clay as her primary subject. And Isabella is a visual artist, researcher and writer whose practice interrogates the conflict between our built and natural environment. We talked about their works and also their thoughts about AI technology and craft. I really enjoyed our conversation together and I hope you find it insightful too. Hi Jen and Isabella, thank you so much for having us in your studio today and thank you for coming onto our podcast, taking the time to have a chat together. For those of us who are not very familiar with your works, can you just give us a very brief introduction of yourself and what you do? Maybe we can start with Jen first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Genevieve, and I'm a ceramicist like Ross. But my interest in ceramics is like more than it's quite kind of wide. I like not just to do like cups, tablewares, and decorative items. I also like to dwell into like research in terms of like glazes and like clay, and also interfacing like craft with technology. That's also one thing that I'm working on right now. So on top of that, I also run a design studio with Georgina Fu in the same space, but unfortunately she's not here today. So yes, it's just me for now. And Isabella, your turn.
Okay, so yeah, hi, I'm Isabella. I'm a visual artist, and I think for my art practice, I'm very interested in the conflict between our built and natural environment, and I think that's because of my training previously as an architect, and also after that, I learned a bit of programming, a bit of coding. So working with a lot of information, data, and new media. I think that's my practice.
Wow, that's very interesting. You both have very interesting practices, but you both met and got to know each other during architecture class, right? I understand
school,
during uni.
Yeah.
So how did you from architecture end up here today sharing a studio? Maybe you can share the process.
No. Sounds like we're gonna complain again. No, let's not. We won't complain. We won't complain.
Yeah, it's a very meandering journey. So do you want to start first?
Okay, I'll start from me, and then she went on quite a different route, and she knew quite early on she didn't want to be in the industry, but I didn't. I think I always dreamt of and aspired to be an architect from quite a young age. Yeah, from there I went to architecture school, and thankfully I met Isabella. She was my studio mate, and we sat right next to each other. And then from there, the education was brutal.
Really?
Yes, yeah, it was very tiring because I think with all creative kind of discipline, the training to be rigorous in your work is always something that is celebrated even in school. And I think maybe during our times it was even worse. So there were many late nights, but it was fun. It was fun to go through all this suffering together. I guess that's why the whole cohort, I think we really like our cohort because we are all quite close. And it's probably due to this common suffering. So I mean, after school, I went into being an architect or architectural designer for the next 4 years. And then decided that it really wasn't what I wanted to do after I pursued it to the fullest, right? Or almost the fullest. I didn't want to do my license, and then decided to come out, really enjoy what I do, which is my craft, ceramics that I started from a young age at 10 as a school CCA. And then from there, it became what it is right now. Yeah, so that's an overview of what it is. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And for yourself?
So yeah, I think it's interesting to see all our different journeys kind of, I would say getting out of architecture, but still working within a very adjacent space to it. So I think like what Jen mentioned, I had a feeling much earlier on that I didn't want to kind of practice as an architect, but I was still very interested in the sort of architectural investigation that was honed during our school. I really appreciated our architecture education, like what Jen said. So after graduating with my bachelor's from architecture school in NUS, I took some time off, decided to learn different skills. So one of it, I picked up programming, became a coder. And I think from then on, I was very interested in how I could merge these two disciplines together, design, art, and new media. So I self-taught myself a bit of physical computation, mechanical, electronic, kind of how to work with those components. I did my master's also in an architecture school in Bartlett, but kind of focusing on this sort of interactive technology. And from then on, I, bit by bit, slowly worked towards my art practice, kind of combining all this. So this is how I found myself here.
Yeah, so interesting. So when Jen, you were saying that you were working like for 4 years in the industry, was it like, do you feel that the education that you got